parts of the trees lesson, students will discover what makes trees and forests special. And after they have discussed the characteristics, they will then explore the different distinct forest layers. The objectives for this lesson are to list 5 different tree parts and then describe the functions of them. They will also be able to ID 5 different layers of the forest and predict what would happen if one of those layers was removed or drastically changed. Materials for this lesson are followed. For each student, we need to have a clipboard, pieces of paper, crayons, bug collection items in case they collect their bugs. You can see on here there are hand lenses, so there's one there's also one on that guy. A pair of scissors, and then also there will be a tree cookie for each student. If you'd like, you can go through all the parts of it. Bark, phloem, which carries the food. This is the cambium, so where the tree grows. This is the sapwood, which carries the water, and then the heartwood is in the middle. And then over here we have what we need for the whole group. So a pair of binoculars, some field guides, a spade in case it's raining out and we need to dig up some dirt. And then also we'll need this, kind of shows the layers of the forest. So for this first activity, what we're going to do is we are going to be building a tree. And students will be assigned different roles in this process. And when you have multiple students, they will actually be circled around the main center of the heartwood, which we will go over. So we'll start off with the heartwood, and their job is to beat their heart like a, Then we'll go to the taproot, who is the anchor, which goes to the lateral roots, which are slurping up water, to the xylem and sapwood, to the cambium, who just is growing, to the phloem, who collects food, brings it down, and then to the bark, who's for defense. Alright, so once everybody has their roles, you will do it all in unison by calling out demand. The second activity that the students will do is they will look at the different layers of the forest. And to start off with, they will look at the forest floor. So they'll rummage through the soil, rummage through the organic matter. If they find any insects, ask them to put them in a bug container, and then you can look at them later. The next layer is the herb layer, which has the herbaceous plants. As you can see, there is a fern right there. The next layer up is the shrub layer. And then it's the understory. And then finally ending with the canopy, which is all the way up. So as you're going on your hike, you will want to ask the students to look for animals that live in each of these layers. And if they can't identify them, ask them to draw them or to make notes on them. The second part of the last activity, after you do the forest hike, is to bring the students back in the classroom and then have them draw pictures of animals that they discovered. And what they're going to do is they're going to put these animals in the correct layer. So we have a worm right here, and we also have a blue jay up there. So concluding the lesson, ask the students what the different parts of a tree are again to review, and then also ask them what would happen if one of the layers were to disappear in the forest, or if an animal was taken out of its home, but ask them several questions to kind of conclude the lesson. For alternative conclusion, you could have these students think of a recipe for a forest. So things that would be in it, what would go in it. So after completion of the Forest for the Trees lessons, students should be able to list 5 parts of a tree and describe their function. They should also be able to identify 5 layers of the forest and predict what would happen if one of the layers were removed or drastically changed. So in the event of a rainy day where you can't go outside, get a sample of soil and have the students kind of go through it, see what they can find, look at the different layers. You can see there's different colors in here. If they find any insects, ask them to put them in their bug collection jars, and then you can look at them later. After the activity is done, take the soil back to where you found it. If time allows, you can have the students divide up into 2 groups, and they should form a skit that focuses on one forest layer, along with some residents of that layer. So you can do a porcupine.